Hello.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. We're going to do a little bit of
Welcome.
the pre-show for all the
Yeah.
folks that are just hanging out. And we're really happy to have you all. And so are you ready for another interesting VHS tape, you, Endo? Are you ready?
Yes.
Here it is. We
何
have the Singer's Toolbox featuring Mark Baxter. So this is definitely a good case of don't judge a tape by its cover. Here it says, how your voice works, 4 steps to keep your voice strong, performance tips, and how to repair vocal damage. So this is a
I
really
need.
this is a very interesting tape because this guy is like a coach for singers. So he teaches singers how to prepare their voice before a show and what to drink and exercises to do to fix your voice. It's very interesting. And he worked with it says here he worked with Steven Tyler from Aerosmith and Gary Sharon from Van Halen. And I've watched this tape. It's very interesting. He has like different vocal exercises. So if you can find a copy of it, The Singer's Toolbox featuring Mark Baxter.
Cool jacket.
So that's our tape of the day. I'll have to rewatch it, Talking on podcasts is hard work.
Yeah, maybe first of all, I needed to stop smoking.
Step 1.
Step one. Stop smoking.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
that's one of his pieces of advice, I think. And then he also, I think he said, you have to, after the show, you have to do a warm down before you start drinking, So,
I see.
I guess he has a book called The Rock and Roll Singer's Survival Manual. So, yep, he's the man, Mark Baxter. But anyway, let's roll the intro. This isn't a show for vocalists. What are we doing?
It's time for LOWKEYS.
Hi, hello
everybody.
again.
Welcome to a new episode of LOWKEYS.
Today's volume is a little loudy.
Oh, me? Am I loud?
Our sound.
I think I'm not sure. I can't tell from this end.
Okay.
So I have a question. What's up? I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
Okay. What I wanted to ask you is that I know we did a survey on our Liven Facebook group talking about what people's favorite genres of music are. And I was curious if you had any artists for you that are inspiring in terms of music with synthesizers in it. So, do you have any favorite synthesizer musicians?
Okay. Before talking about that, I wanna introduce my origin of music.
Sure.
I wanna show you something. Ta-da!
Aha! Now, what is that?
MSX. MSX どこに書いてあるかな?
I see.
MSX MSX2.
I see.
This is home computer in Japan. Japan and maybe MSX was favored in Japan and Netherlands. Maybe. So, and when I was 10 years old, I started to programming this. And at the time, I used basic language, BASIC language. And basic language is easy making for music. So I use only one instruction code, PLAY instruction. And this has three voice of PSG sound. So, and I also making music by MSX at that time. But at the time, I usually listen from TV manga, animation music or something. And あとね、なんだっけ、スーパー戦隊ってなんて言うんだろう。スーパー戦隊。
I think in the US, maybe we call that Power Rangers.
Yes, that's right. So, Power Ranger. And actually, in Japan, many kind of Power Rangers. Their name is different of each Power Rangers. And I love that TV program, and and I also like TV animation, TV SF animation. So, ガンダムとか、ブライガーとか、ゴールドライタンとか、maybe very old animation.
Yeah.
So, my first contact of music is that. And
I see.
And then, when I was a high school student, I joined the band group. Band group. And at that time, I practiced many Japanese pop music. Because my high school is なんだろう、男子校、
boys
only high school.
I see. Yeah.
So, but every year, one time, we opened on school and same as なんだろう、スクールパーティー、文化祭って言うんだけど、
like a club, school club or
かな。
school circle.
So, and some another girls only high school student come my high school, our high school, and I want to play cool.
Yeah.
So I
Stay up late
joined.
and practice. Get ready. Yeah, I see.
So I needed to play Japanese pop song or rock song. So
Inda-san, you got a question from the viewers.
Yeah, they're asking what did you play in the band?
at that time I play the guitar.
Guitar.
I see.
Because vocal or guitar was cool at that time.
I see. So
I need attention.
at that time, what genre of pop music was popular? Because I know there was some time when right now, the city pop music has become very popular with Americans because
yeah.
it's on YouTube. Was that the kind of music that you were playing, or was it more like idol group music, or what was the style of pop music at that time?
City pop music is more high, more older people listening that at that time. And our generation usually listened more, rock.
I see.
More rock style and punk rock style or visual 系ってなんて言うんだろう。
Visual K.
ビジュアル系。
Goth.
Ah.
I think they
I
X
see.
とか。
X Japan.
X Japan. そうそう。
What year was your graduating class in high school?
卒業クラス？あ、ごめん。Sorry?
Or what year?
What year did you graduate from high school?
1995.
Okay, that makes sense.
1995.
Yeah,
And,
so that was definitely the in the middle or the beginning of Visual K and that kind of type.
Okay.
Very
Somebody said
interesting.
glam rock.
Did you have like costumes when you performed, or was it just in school uniforms?
あれですね、スクールユニフォーム only.
I see.
But at the time, we cannot get girl. 失敗した。彼女ができませんでした。
That's really interesting. So yeah, I think in the US, a lot of people don't know about MSX. And so for people who are interested, the MSX was like a standard that a lot of Japanese computer companies, for example, this is Panasonic, all agreed on. And it was a version of Microsoft Windows. Is that correct?
Microsoft OS? MSX DOS.
Oh, it was a version of DOS. Okay. Yeah.
DOS. And but that MSX DOS provided by floppy disk. But early MSX has no drive, floppy disk drive. But all MSX have basic ROM, basic language ROM. So when you start MSX, first view is editor of basic language.
I see. The basic editor was what opened by default. Very interesting.
By the way, MSX is なんだっけ短縮形ショートワードactual word is Microsoft X.
Okay. So that's what it stands for, is Microsoft X.
So Microsoft, maybe Microsoft and ASCII make common specification of MSX.
I see.
And many company make MSX PC from this same specifications.
I see. So I know, like some of the companies, for example, was like Panasonic, maybe like Toshiba.
Yeah. Sony.
Oh, Sony made ones as well. Interesting.
Yamaha also make MSX PC.
Oh, really?
Maybe with MIDI.
Yeah, show the connections on the back there. It's kind of. It's got the MIDI.
There is no MIDI because this is made from Panasonic and this is printer port.
I see.
This is cassette tape
that was
data
MIDI.
recorder interface.
I see.
This is display, RGB display connector and audio, monaural audio and video composite connection. And also have RF output, same as Famicom, NES, Nintendo Entertainment System.
I see.
And you can select a TV channel 1 or 2.
I see. So did the MSX2, did that come out a similar time as the NES?
MSX2?
And in the Famicom, did they release time was the same?
So yes. Maybe similar. And some ファミコンは、maybe when I was 6 years old, maybe Nintendo Entertainment System released that. And many kids, many children want to Nintendo Entertainment System, but some parents don't want to give Nintendo NES to my babies.
Yeah.
So at the time, some parents bought MSX computer.
So because you could actually do other things like programming. Or...
Yes, that's right. But MSX have... 大丈夫
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Literally.
MSX also have many games.
I see. In the
So-
United States, many people have Texas Instruments calculator. And
Why?
on that calculator, they often, it's supposed to be for graphs and calculus and math, but you can load games on the calculator.
Wow, cool.
So many students say, oh yeah, I need a calculator. But really,
actually, they played games.
so I just looked it up. It looks like the NES and the original, so the MSX1 came out on the same year, 1983. And then
1983か。
the
7 years old
MSX2,
だ。
the MSX2 came out in 1989.
1989.
So that was 6 years after was the second version of the MSX.
Yes.
Well, there we go.
Programming by MSX is very exciting at that time.
Yeah.
Okay. じゃあ、I wanna pick up. Aaron さん、thank you for watching. VM Sky さん、thanks for watching. Detroit Micro Sound さん、thank you for watching. Okay.
Yeah, so they're talking about glam metal. So, or glam rock. So that was like sort of similar to Visual K, but in the United States. So have you heard of a band called Poison?
Poison?
Poison
Colin
was
knows that.
maybe
Poison,
one of
I know
the
Poison.
biggest glam metal bands.
My sense is that Visual K range from ghost to hair metal. Visual K is you are using word Visual K?
Mm-hmm.
Normal?
Yeah, well, Visual K is a Japanese genre, but some Americans know.
Oh.
Yeah.
We don't say Visual K in America, but
Yeah,
have the
some
same
people
exact-
do. Some people are like, they might call it Visual K, or they might call it like J-Rock.
Oh, yeah,
Just like
J-Rock.
there's K-pop, they will call it J-Rock probably. Is a more
I
common
see, I
term
see.
for it, but yeah. But
面白いな。
yeah, I think that when you were programming on the MSX and making sounds, were there a lot of people that were sharing music at that time, like on floppy disks, or were you just making the music by yourself?
Basically, it's myself for myself, but the MSX in Japan at the time have there is 2 magazine of MSX magazine for MSX. So if I could make good game or good music at that time, maybe I can send that programming data to publishers, and
I
if
see.
they can accept that, なんだ、雑誌に載るんだよね。I can get article, but at the time, I cannot send my program.
Right.
But sometimes do you know Comic?
No.
Comic market is very big, big event, geek event in Japan. And when I was a high school student, I made some game, and I copied my game to 100 piece, and I bring that comic market, and same as なんだろう、フリーマーケットっていうのかね。ガレージセールじゃないんだよな。
Oh, like a flea market or a garage sale.
But big,
Yeah,
but
there's like
avenue is too big.
Yeah, I see.
So,
And many people also like they share like a comic that they draw, right?
yes, that's right.
I see.
But
So
at that
maybe
time,
today we would call that like a comic book convention, but maybe more for people who are not famous but entry level. So you can share comics or I guess music or different things. That's very interesting. Maybe we should next time they have one, maybe we should have a table for SONICWARE.
Yes. Yes. Original design live.
Yeah.
You please draw your design or something.
Well, it's very interesting to hear about your musical background. Do you feel like your background with the programming on the MSX, do you think that affected kind of the kind of synthesizers that you like to make now?
ごめん。
そのMSX のプログラミングの経験はSONICWARE の申請の
of course.
影響
を受けてる。Yes, of course. Because our product sometimes have 8-bit engines. 8-bit WAPs and ELZ1's 8-bit memory synthesizer is inspired from Konami SCC style engine. And I also love Game Boy and Nintendo Entertainment System. So 8-bit WAP's sweep engine is, I think, same specification as Game Boy sweep. So,
So somebody in the comments is asking about have you heard of the Dirty Wave M8?
Dirty.
And maybe you've seen it. I'll share my screen.
Okay, please.
Wave M8. it's like a small synthesizer, but it's like tracker style. So let me share my screen. Maybe, I am not sure, but maybe similar as the programming style on MSX. Let me check. 1 second. Here it is. Share. Okay. It's maybe hard to see in this photo, but kind of looks like this. It's these are keyboard style keys. And then let me see if I can find a better picture of it. But yeah. So I'll
Yes.
yeah. So some folks are asking what, so yeah, it has this type of tracker interface.
Like LSDJ by
Yeah.
Game Boy.
Yeah.
There is some also have same style tool, but at the time I write directly by basic language. So, that is very easy. You can type PLAY, double quotation, and if you want to output C, you only type C.
I see. But you're writing that kind of like every line, and then it goes from top to bottom playing each sound, kind of.
Yes, one track, you have 3 track, and first area, double quotation area is first track. And then you type comma, and you can write the second track.
I see. So maybe a similar interface as this, but the MSX maybe was not made to be maybe only for music. So that was just the language for music. So you're kind of more programming language style of composing, but somewhat similar to a device like this. Very, very interesting. Yeah. I know Avrilcadabra is a big fan of the this M8 unit. I think it sounds really good. Because the FM engine in it is very clean sounding. So yeah, it's other small companies, right? All making interesting gear.
Yeah. Actually, I hope more small company will make unique own gears.
Yeah, I think right now we live in a very interesting time for synthesizers because the hardware is easier to get now, like easier to manufacture. Like in the past, making a synthesizer, unless you are Yamaha or Korg or Sony, the making hardware was too expensive. But right now, cost is low relative to back then, But anyway, we've been chatting this whole time. Let's see if we have any other questions. Doesn't look like we have any other questions on here. So maybe we should play do we have an episode of Inside SONICWARE for this week?
Yes.
All right, let's do it.
Yesterday.
Hey, Doc. What are you doing?
Hi.
Interesting sounds there.
Yes. Now I'm checking about sound effects.
Well, yeah, can I hear those sound effects?
Yeah, sure, of course. これとか、ドン。これと。
Oh.
What do you mean?
It's like a R2D2.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a kind of robot.
This sample are one part of this SE
Okay.
sound effects. 面白いね。
Yeah, that's pretty cool. This one's a usable sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I'm gonna show you.
Oh, we talked about this last time.
Yeah. じゃじゃん。
Interesting.
そうそう。This is drum kit edit version.
Okay.
This one is for bass editing. So in this time I use drum edit sheet.
Oh, okay, so one's for drums and one's for bass.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying.
Right.
Okay. Interesting.
And I selected kit 1.
Okay.
And if you want to change this sound, first of all, press SFX.
Okay.
And then what's the name?
Oh, you're scrolling through the different. That's a good one. Whoa.
So.
That's pretty cool.
So, and save. You can also change
Oh, so you can save your
name.
the names of the
And then
nice.
でもって you can select kit.
Okay.
そうするとこの音が入ってる。
That's great. Yeah, that's
fun.
Sounds good. So this is what you get when you get the bass and beats. Awesome. And so when are these coming out?
I will finish to before shipping, and then we will include this sheet.
They're included.
To
Okay.
This box.
Well, that's pretty nice.
Yes,
that's
but
good
the
deal.
design is not fixed.
Right. you mean they don't have your handwritten? That might be nice
Yes,
though.
yes.
The handwritten one.
Handmade version.
You could sign it.
Yes, yes.
Indo.
Okay, if you want to.
The signature edition.
Sweet.
Sweet. Yeah, that's pretty rad.
Okay.
All right. Well, I guess I'll let you get back to the beats. All right, take it easy. Bye.
Bye.
Ah.
So funny. Sorry.
Are you getting distracted? That's a good sign, right? Yeah.
Okay. じゃあ I will make my signature model and I will present to you.
Ah.
こっちか。
I'll play you.
そうね。
Yeah.
So, recently every day we are checking about instruction, sound and debugging. We are finding bug and improve that every day. So I think implementation of firmware is 90% finished. After now, we need to making checking sound and modify sound parameters and making preset or something. 大丈夫
First brother, then
Okay.
dad. Turning it off. Turning it off. I need to have a sign on my room or something. So right now you're testing the sounds and making sure that they work together and that the kits are cohesive.
Yes, and so and I was あれもう作りそっかそっか After now, maybe we are preparing some unit for preset sound editing. So maybe next week or end of next week, we will ship to sound designers and we are immediately checking sound and making preset sound and discussing after now.
I see. Yeah, that's the thing. Many people will only use preset sounds. So I think I think that it's important that those sounds good.
That's very important. Yes.
So Detroit Microsound was mentioning in the comments about swapping the firmware between different Liven units. At this time, it's not possible to convert, put the XFM firmware on Liven 8-bit warps or something like that. At this time, it's not possible to use SysX to swap the versions. So I just want to make that clear. And then Immoral Talent was wondering what the best way to go around micro tuning an XFM without having to use external gear. Is it possible through SysX? So right now, SysX is only being used for updating the firmware. There isn't any SysX being used for parameter control. There is some MIDI CCs that are able to modify parameters that way. Micro tuning. So is that like you want to be able to do tuning that is not in musical semitones? I think is kind of what you're thinking. I don't know if there is a specific. I think you could probably do that in the using the editor overlay. What I would suggest is if you have watched Chris Lodi's FM editing videos for the XFM, that would be my number one suggestion for trying to get sounds that are maybe more unique or more atonal. So yeah, check out, if you just search Chris Lodi and XFM editing tutorial, you'll find his stuff. The other thing I would recommend is on the XFM, it's possible to turn off. It's possible to turn off the pitch locking when you're using the XFM, like the morphing engine. So try when you're using the engines. Let me just grab. Do I have one with me that I can grab? Behind the curtain. Oh yeah, there's my unit. 1 second. Let me grab it and I can point out what I'm talking about. 1 second.
Yeah. All right.
So if you're looking here, if you're trying to do like a specific like microtonal scale, that might be a little trickier because it doesn't have a function where you could upload like Scala maps or something like that to do specific microtunings. But on this unit, oh, I have to switch my. I'm flipped. 1 second. Flip horizontal. Okay. So if you're looking at the unit here, if you could put me on full screen, that would
今度俺が出てきちゃった。
Problem.
So if you're looking here, you'll see that which one is it? I think it's 1 second. Yeah, so you'll see this knob here. Underneath it, it says lock. So if you hold down, if you get to the lock function that's on that knob and you turn it and you turn off all of the locking or specifically the pitch locking, then when you're morphing between one FM preset and another, you're going to get lots of kind of pitch tuning that's not on a semitone, that's not in the normal pitch range. So, isn't locked into semitones. So I would recommend trying the XLab, the Xform, and the XLFO with the pitch locking turned off. And that might be a way of getting more microtonal sounds that are off the scale. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, so he's saying it creates an overall effect, but I need to shift to certain notes to certain sense. Yeah, so right now the XFM doesn't have, or any of the Liven models, they don't have a way to upload the Scala files, so you can do specific microtonal scales. But hopefully that gives you some inspiration and some directions to go if you're looking to do microtonal music. Yeah. Speaking of videos, I would like to share a couple of videos that I found this week that I think are super cool. So let me grab one really quick here, and I will share my screen again. 1 second, share screen, and go to the right tab. This is one by avrilcadabra that I thought was really interesting because she was using the way that she was doing transitions and using the looper on the Liven 8-bit warps to switch between loops and switching between and using the like stutter effect and some of the sequencer effects all together. So yeah, let's take a listen.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you want to see like the Livens really being used in interesting ways and in a bunch of different contexts, it's definitely worth checking out her channel. And I know some folks here were talking about the M8 she has a bunch of videos using that unit as well. And I think she has a video where the M8 is sequencing the Liven units. So if that's kind of what you're into and the sound that you like, it's definitely worth checking out her channel. Yeah, so that's the video that I wanted to show. I think there's a video you wanted to show as well. Let me just grab that as well. 1 second. Oh yeah, let me change my screen share. 1 second. Screen share. And we'll go to tab. Here we go. Share. All right. Let's listen. Go to the beginning. Volume's up. All right. Ooh, that was cool. Wow, that is so good. That's really cool. A really cool combination of different techniques there. Interesting.
This
Yeah, definitely.
build-up style is good, nice.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the cool things about how the XFM is structured, that you can look, build up all the different like program memories that have 4 different, sounds on them. And then, if okay, this is this song and it has, these sounds built into it, it's really easy to build something new on the fly. So if you wanted to build a whole live performance, you don't have to make sounds from scratch. You can just load each program memory and then do your, just leave the sequences blank, empty, and just program your stuff in on the fly. I think that's really, really cool. And I know that what some people were asking, this kind of leads into our big question for the day, is how to change drum sounds on a single track. I know some people in the Facebook group were asking about that. So let me bring up a video because in Chris Lodi's XFM tutorial, he actually talks
Well,
about how
Banana.
Oh,
he talks about how you can change drum sounds on one XFM track. So you can have one track that has multiple. Let me pause this. That has multiple drum sounds on it. So let me share my screen one more time, and it's definitely worth watching. Let's watch this section of the video together. 1 second. I can grab it. There we go. So this is Chris Lodi's how to use the Liven XFM full tutorial. This thing is like number one, what I send everybody to, what I recommend they watch initially, just to get their bearings with the XFM. And there's lots of different sections in here, kind of explaining the engines and how to use it to its fullest potential. So let's watch this section about automation using parameter locks. And near the end, he talks about how to use that to switch drum sounds specifically. Oops.
Another feature is the parameter lock feature, and this is basically another term for automation. This means we can automate the knobs as our track plays. We can automate anything within the blue section. That includes the upper and lowercase words, so that means we can alter the morphing controls, the sounds that we've selected, LFO rates, everything. We can do all of these at once. There's no restrictions on the number we can use. The parameter lock button is here. When it's green, it means the feature's on. When it's yellow, that means it's in sound locking mode, but that's a separate feature, so we'll come to that in a minute. And when it's off, then the feature is off. If we make it green, and then we can program precise amounts in for a start. So, so here, let's turn our attention to the baseline. And we want to go make the filter open all the way up on these 4 steps by holding the step and turning it. Turn it back down to an automated level, and then when we play, the filter is going to lift up on just these. If we're not happy with that, we can just hold clear and press the parameter lock button. If we want to record in real time, we'll hold function and press parameter lock. And then when we play and move this, that's going to record a value per step. So when we play back, we get lots of movement. So we can do this for all of these parameters. The sound locking feature is related, but it's just concerned with selecting sounds here. So if we turn our attention to our drum track that we programmed in earlier, that's not where it is, sorry, that track. We've just got our kick drum sound that we programmed in earlier. If we decide we want to add some hi-hats in, we could change this to yellow or orange, I should say, and select a hi-hat sound. We can then program that in on all the steps. And then turn our control back to our kick, but this will remember that we programmed in hi-hat sounds. So it's a great way to build up rhythms. You can add sounds in, all the melodic sounds or bass sounds. So that's a really easy way to add in different sounds into your patterns without having to automate the sound and bank control. Another great feature is here, which is a dice feature. This will lower the probability that our notes will trigger. So as we turn it down, there will be less and less likely to trigger.
So if you want to learn more about that feature and the rest of the features of the XFM, definitely check out his tutorial.
Really powerful.
Stop this.
Yeah, library engine and library engine is good with sound locking function. So if you use library engine and sound locking function, you can make more easy than another synth engine.
Yeah, because when you're in the library engine, it's just the selections are just bank and sound, and then the hack of the engine. So for drums, if you are just using the preset drums sounds that are already like FM sounds that are already on here, then yeah, using the library engine is definitely the way to go. So just to review, the way you do that is by pressing the parameter lock button until it turns like yellow, kind of yellowish orange. and that way it's just recording the changes in the bank and the sound that you're switching. So yeah, that kind of answers that question. How do I program multiple drum sounds? And it's not just for drums. Like, if you wanted to change the FM sounds for your synth or something, or the first half of the pattern, or different steps to switch to different sound engines, different FM sounds, then you can do that. You can't switch the engine, but you can't automate that change, but you can automate the changes of the bank and the sound within a specific engine. So yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. Somebody was saying the parameter locks and the random probability are advanced features that I'm amazed were included with the XFM. Yeah, I think being able to automate, it really opens up big doors. What was your inspiration for adding that feature? Because I know many other synthesizers, maybe at this price, don't have that kind of automation recording.
Yes, except XFM is FM synth engine, so I really want to make groove box, multi-track groove box. So I think parameter locking is important for multi-track group box. So that actually 8-bit apps also have parameter locking. But it's also hard to making different sound on each track, on one track. So when we were developing XFM, we were discuss about this problem, and we finally found sound locking simple function. So, we are also checking about another maker's devices. So, for example, Electron, Digiton, or something. So, I love also Digiton. So, my inspiration also from another maker's great synthesizers.
And finding ways to kind of bring in features that will enhance. Interesting. Yeah. All right. Well, I think that pretty much covers everything that we wanted to talk about. Is there something else?
Yeah,
extra.
Okay.
Yeah.
Extra.
Bonus.
And I'm so sorry for delayed. This 8-bit back. Finally, we finished to prepare for EU area and UK areas.
I see.
And another areas also. So maybe you can buy 8-bit warps back on our website already.
Okay.
And recently days for US market, 8-bit warps back for US market also was sold out. But 2 days ago, maybe we could receive some stock of 8-bit warps bag. So now maybe this stock was back.
Oh, okay.
For US market.
Okay,
also.
sweet.
Mm.
Yeah, I think the bags have been a little bit of a challenge to get the manufacturing to be regular and also to keep everything in stock. So we appreciate everybody's patience. And the 8-bit warps bag, so the 8-bit warps bag should be available now for all regions if they purchase it from the website.
Yes.
All right. Sounds good. So to find that, you just go to sonicware.jp and then you go to the link at the top that says shop. And that's where you'll see the bag on the right-hand side. So,
but the amount is not big. So if you have interest, please check soon, please.
okay. All right. Well, is there any more extra announcements? Are we good?
And that is all.
That covers it. Okay, sounds good. Well, I want to thank everybody for joining us and for sharing your jams on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook. Just be sure to tag SONICWARE and the Liven XFM or the 8-bit warps or whatever gear you're using with it. We love to see everybody's setup, and we made, we added all these sync options up here so you can use it with every other piece of gear. So definitely explore how you can include the Liven with the rest of your family of equipment. And yeah, we're looking forward to seeing everybody on the next episode, which will be next Thursday. That will be 7 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Mountain, 9 p.m. Central, and 10 p.m. Eastern time. And if you're in Japan or Australia, it should be around 11 a.m. To 12 p.m. So, yeah, sounds good. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us, and we will see you next week.